Good afternoon, and it's such a pleasure to be here with quite a different audience that I'm used to, but definitely an audience very powerful in terms of outreach to people, to real people everywhere. I'm here to talk about the Sustainable Development Goal and what do they have to do with music, which is a lot. Many of you may know them already, but perhaps even those of you who never heard about them, maybe you are already implementing in your personal or professional life new business model or new behavior that are bringing us closer to the vision of the Sustainable Development Goal, which is a vision of a world which is more peaceful, more equal, and more sustainable, all of which by 2030. The Sustainable Development Goals are 17 to do, must, by everyone, government, business leader, individual, a blueprint for the world to follow. It is the most bold, ambitious agenda ever agreed by all world leaders in 2015. It encompasses climate action, social justice, health, decent jobs, gender equality, sustainable consumption, and on. It's about holistic approach. It's about looking at all the different aspects of our life. It's about protecting people and our shared planet. The SDG story, although the name may look a little bit complicated, is about what most people want. More inclusive, we just heard it, more peaceful and sustainable society, no later than 2030. And we only have 8 years left to make the SDG happen. And every day we are reminded that we cannot take anything for granted. War, you heard somebody from Ukraine just half an hour ago, inequalities, climate emergency. We are all affected by those global threats that make it seem hopeless to work together for a better future. But we are also seeing young people all over the world take to the streets their voices to voice their opinion on matters that affect their present and their future. And with social media, we are at a point in history that conflates their voices with global platforms. We heard about TikTok, allowing them to become part of the political discourse and making sure their voices are heard. These are our future leaders. And I want to say, we hear you and we see you. This is why I'm here today, to bring a message of hope to you and to your audiences who listen to music as a means to express themselves and bring them joy, to say that the SDGs are still achievable. The prospect of a more sustainable and just world exists. Now is the time. It is time to react, to reset, to restart. All models have not worked. We need new ones. This is why we must change the way we do things and flip the script on prevailing narratives. Flip apathy into action, fear into hope, divisiveness into togetherness. The key element of the campaign of flipping the script is transformative action that everybody can take across geography, gender, sector, and political perspective. Flip the script is about knowing that the impossible is possible if we act together. It is about rewriting history. One where the climate crisis won't end humanity, because humanity will end the climate crisis, and where the idea that girls can change the world vanishes for good, because we know that the world cannot change without girls. Let me now show you a very short video.
Hello, want me to go over there with you?
As you saw from the video, it is the people that will rewrite the story that shapes a new reality. It means taking back our world because it belongs to all people, not just a few. We need to flip the script to achieve a healthy, just, and green world, which is the ambition of the SDGs. Now, let's come to music. Music has the power. As you know well, music has the power to shift behavior for many reasons. The first, music and art play a fundamental role in triggering the change that is necessary today, because music speaks to people's emotion. Dance music is about joy, about dance, about connecting with oneself and with others around us. Music does not only speak to our mind, but also to our emotion. And it is clear that individual and collective change only happen when mind and hearts come together. Second, as culture creators, connecting with a massive and ever-growing community, you inspire others and you set cultural trends. By leading by example and setting new sustainable standards and speaking loudly about this changing, you set the trend, you set the future, you rewrite the rules. And the music industry, specifically electronic music, as it re-emerges from the devastating effect of the pandemic, you have now the opportunity to flip the script and show that you can make more conscious music and entertainment. And we know fundamentally that this is what your community also wants you to do it. So you can bring hope, you can bring joy, you can bring togetherness, but at the same time respect the planet and promoting social justice, as the speaker just before me reminded us. People are no longer making passive choices. They are making active choices. And more than ever, they will adhere to their social and climate beliefs, even when they listen and dance music. They demand a sustainable future, and the music industry can help and lead the way with the choices you make and with the message you decide to share through your incredible platform. Another point, needless to say, music is made by artists and producers. You have huge platform in their own right, and you have opportunity to inspire change, which is required today. Who can open people's mind and heart, who can push the industry from the inside to set new standard and business model, somehow acknowledging that your great power comes with great responsibility for a more equal and green planet. I want to end this session, connecting also with the previous speaker, talking about gender equality. Gender equality takes many forms, And it's not always the obvious form of having as many, female DJ as male DJs. That should be given already for granted. With the music industry, let's really think about leadership, about representation. Are women in the industry encouraged or given the opportunity to lead? Let's talk about parity in the workplace, but not just in the conference rooms. We know it takes a massive crew to do events like this, but can we balance and can we bring women and other gender minority in the leadership of the industry? And also, and we just heard from the previous speaker, look out for women and ensure healthy and respectful and dignified work environment. Now, I want to move to the call to action. It's easy to say we need to change and feel powerless in front of this huge task, but the power is in our hands. We take it step by step, bit by bit. There's so many examples of things that you could be doing. Solar power stages, which are now happening everywhere in small and large festivals. Moving away from plastic completely, from bottles to packaging to merchandising. More conscious travel, offsetting emission, and more local bookings. Bringing music to less central location to allow inclusivity and to bring culture, entertainment in less central location to everyone. And then taking a strong stand against sexual assault and ensuring women and gender minorities' presence on and off stage. These are just a few examples, but I'm not here to tell you what you can do. You will be the change that you want to see in your sector and in the world. What your audience wants to see in the world. This sustainable future is in your hands. Let's flip the script on the expectation, on what we have done in the past, and show that change is possible if we want it. This Friday at 1 p.m., we're co-hosting with IMS a workshop designed to co-create together some action, measurable, ambition, that we can take together to really bring about change in the music system. And so we hope you'll join, many of you. And now let me end with a quote by an activist from 2 centuries ago, Harriet Tubman. Every great dreams begin with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and change the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here today. That was amazing. And, just to give some context to everybody, we started talking about 6 months ago, I think.
Yes.
And I was very intrigued by the flip the script idea, the ideology of it, and the video. And we talked a lot about how could the music industry adopt SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. We're all trying to find our way forwards in our pursuit of purpose. And a big part of that, or many of the initiatives we're trying to work towards, are inside your 2020 goals.
17.
17, there you go. I came up with 3 more.
There may be more.
So the idea on Friday, after hearing this, and I'm sure the word will spread about what you're saying, is that we as an industry will work together with your team to actually come up with our own way of adopting these goals for the music industry, for the electronic industry. So how do you see that process working on Friday? Because joining me will be Silvia Montello, who's the CEO of electronic music's trade body, AFEM. Katie Bain from Billboard is going to join. She's the dance editor of Billboard.
Yes.
I think Jaguar will join. and Andrea from She Said So, which is a big female initiative with over 6,000 women in the music industry. So the idea is we want the room to participate and for us to, with a whiteboard, end the session with a list of actions that this industry can take. How easy is that going to be? Do you want to tell us about the process, just to give people a bit of a flavor of?
I mean, from our team, there will also be Lisa, who's there, and Anand Kantaria, my deputy, who is flying tomorrow. Because this list of action will hopefully be part of a global mobilization, which we are organizing next September, from the 16th to the 25th of September, while world leaders meet at the United Nations. So we really want to encourage constituency and the music industry to come up with ideas and action that can be rolled out during the summer, which is your big season. And hopefully we can report back to world leaders and to the world all these actions that were taken, by the industry. Last year we mobilized 100 million action in more than 160
Amazing.
countries.
Okay. And is the idea that we also end up with a flip the script video for our industry? Because that was something we talked about.
Yes.
So how can we all help put content together to make a video like that inspires this great sort of global initiative next year? So that's...
Absolutely. The flip the script concept is adaptable. And what it is important is that you come up with a message that you want to flip. In the industry, the mindset that needs to be changed. The message that the most important, and we can just help you. You come up with the message because it's your message, and we help you to flip and show to people, to your audience, to your community, that change is possible. Yeah. And change can start by little action, and then can quickly go to big action. The important thing is the ambition, is the drive towards change.
Yeah, well, amazing. I mean, for me, this to me is a huge opportunity for our culture to align with the UN. I mean, the fact that you're even here to me is pretty mind-blowing. So I thank you for coming, and I think everyone should use this opportunity as a way to really inspire our industry, but also our consumers, the people who come to our events. And I think with your gravitas and everything you do around the world, this is a huge opportunity. So we take it very seriously, and we look forward to Friday to working together to come up with those initiatives. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody want to ask any questions? Just quickly. We've got a few minutes. There you go. Just tell us where you're from, what company you work for, etc.
I'm Nathan. I come from Brussels, and I work with on a music project with a producer at the moment. But I'm also very concerned about all sustainability questions. And I was wondering, you just mentioned there was 100 initiatives that took place already last year. Ahead of the session on Friday, is there a place that we can really have a look at these and maybe see what's been done in the past?
Absolutely. Actually, Liz, we can share a link. There is a global map on our website, which is UN SDG Action Campaign, where you see the map of the world, and then you can see all the action. But Lisa can maybe share, I don't know if there is a platform, a toolkit where we collected some ideas for last year, from individual action to action led by institution. But what's really important is really for you to see where the obstacles are in your industry towards sustainability, and 5 creative ways to try to overcome them. Just to give you an example, very recently we nominated the first ally to the UN SDG Action Campaign, who is a singer in Italy, who is launching, Elisa, you may know her. She has decided to do her first live tour after the pandemic, trying to be as sustainable as possible. And she is also using her music and the concert to really inspire her growing community to take little action to change, behavior, to change behavior in personal and professional life. So also think of, action that are relevant to your community, that are relevant to the music. But you can also, of course, be inspired by other.
Yeah, I think as well as a sort of global kind of one voice community opportunity here for people who represent talent, which is one of the reasons I first spoke with you. There's a lot of artists who are very lost in how to kind of make these changes and what to focus on, what to prioritize on. There are 17 of these goals, you can't do them all. But when I looked at the list, there were probably 8 or 9 that were relevant to anybody working in the electronic music industry, and that's kind of where this all began. So it's a huge opportunity. So.
Okay, so the last comment. I mean, if there are people representing talent, and if you know talent that would like to be engaged, we are very open, and we are happy to recruit other voices from other regions that really can really help us to spread the message and to inspire for action. And when you look at the 17 goals, health, education, jobs, environment, peace, one of the very important element is that they are all interconnected, but then it's natural that each one of us has a preference. And many artists may be, more passionate about environmental or climate, fighting against climate or gender equality. But then when you look at the goals, to achieve them, you really need to pursue an holistic, strategy. So don't be scared, there are too many. Each goal is an entry point to build the vision for a better future.
Amazing, very, very inspiring. So, look, thank you so much. It's a real honor to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I know you're very busy, and we're very privileged, so thank you. And we'll see you on Friday.
Yes.
Thank you.